Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video with Dice of Chaos Wargaming. Today we're going to kind of go over just some quick tips on how to quickly paint some Ultramarine guys. Mostly this is from the Marneus Calgar box set, some of his bodyguards. I'm going to show you quickly how to paint a bunch of these guys, just give you some brief tips. My goal is to show you how to paint it so they're tabletop ready. So they're not going to be perfect, but it'll be quick. And just some of the tips I've learned over the years. A lot of it's going to be like a dry brush, wet brush. So you don't need a whole lot. I use a lot of the thicker brushes, not a lot of fine detail brushes, but just kind of start things off. I base coat them all blue, and then I paint them again with the McCraggy blue. And then I use something, I don't know if you can get it anymore. I guess I haven't looked lately, but I use the Ultramarine blue wash through them completely. That's where you're getting that really shiny look on some parts of them. And the other parts, because obviously I didn't paint all of it. McCraggy blue, because that's going to be painted red anyway, so we're not going to worry too much about that. But the sword I make really shiny. I kind of want to show you quickly on how to do stuff. So it looks good. It doesn't have to look perfect. I did all three of them with a little bit different stuff in it. That way I can keep the video pretty short and kind of talk about different things. But I know a lot of guys out there will show you how to professionally paint guys. I'm just trying to show you quickly how to paint people. That way you can get to more gaming and less painting and assembly. Pretty much all I do is just take a little bit more McCraggy blue, because I've already highlighted, put the wash on it, and then I just dry brush them real quick. Bear with me if you're not ever trying to paint looking through a camera. But I don't want to do it too thick, just thick enough so it kind of leaves some of that shiny blue underneath it. And just kind of gives it like a real quick edging look. Now, you can obviously highlight stuff like that. I'm going to show you just different ways to quickly dry brush stuff to make them look really good. Obviously, you don't have to put the backpack on first or any of the arms, really. And there's a couple tips I'll use that will probably make certain people lose their mind, because I'm going to show you how to use a marker on some of this to quickly do some gold highlighting and stuff like that. But the big goal is, you just want to make it look good. You don't need to make it look perfect. They look good from a distance. That's all you need. If somebody wants to be that player, sit there and say, hey, it's not perfect, you didn't highlight everything, well, all right, that's fine. I mean, if they have a perfectly painted army, that's cool. But like I said, my big goal is just to kind of make it so it's really easy. So I'm gonna move really quick and kind of show you guys just quick tips with the different colors I use, stuff like that. You don't need a whole lot. I mean, obviously you can use only 3 or 4 colors if you wanted to. So that was it. That's all I did for him. We're going to go to Marneus himself. I already did some of the stuff, which I'll show on the different guy, but the different red real quick, kind of messed up. That's not supposed to be red, but we'll worry about that later. And I'll show you how I can get that to change colors real quickly. I already did a few things I made a mistake on. I should not have used that. I like to do things quickly, so I do one color, then another color, then another color, and just mix them from one guy to the next guy, so I'm not changing stuff out constantly. But I'll show you just kind of what I use for the highlight. Which is just going to be this rust gray. And like I said, I use a lot of paint brushes. So I usually just go to like Hobby Lobby, buy a pack for like $8 versus spending $8 per brush. I just find out that they don't really matter. Some of them last a long time. Obviously, my more expensive brushes, I make sure they last a long time. I keep them in a little better shape. Otherwise, I just replace them, because spend more time worrying about your brushes, again, modeling and stuff like that, and I just want to get more into playing. I really make sure I get a lot of the paint off of this when I do the gray. And we're just going to touch them up just a little bit across the knuckles here, just to kind of lighten things up. You don't need to get it on there too thick, just a little bit, just to kind of get that edge. Like I said, they're not trying to do them perfect. They're trying to do them quick and get them on the table so we can play with them. That way you're not spending all day, hours and hours and in. Try to do this a little bit better so you can kind of see. But like I said, just kind of like a brief highlight on them. Kind of make them look a little worn. It's always good to make sure you have a good light source so you can kind of see if you're missing something. There's nothing worse is when you got everything that's nice and neat, and then all of a sudden you look and go, oh man, there's a whole section that didn't get that highlight on it. But just kind of go across it real fast. And you don't want to spend too much time on it, because it'll look bad. I mean, you can keep going layer after layer. Obviously, I can go in there and show you like a lot of the other guys do online, and they quickly highlight and drew their linings, and I'm not going to do that with these guys. I'm just going to do them real quick. That way you're not, you know, trying to figure stuff out. I just kind of want to make it so, you know, the new gamers can actually make, you know, models that look, you know, good. I know there's a lot of players out there. I mean, I have a couple armies where I've spent way too much time on just silly detail. I'm just gonna say it's silly detail. I spend way too much time doing lines, and I just kind of look back at it and just go, man, that was a lot of time, and now I'm not hardly using that guy because the rules changed or something like that. But this is just kind of a quick way to get your Ultramarines on the board. Try to get it better on here. So first time I've done this looking through a camera lens. So normally I wouldn't have painted that red. I would have just left it alone. But like I said, I did that because I kind of want to show you what the tip looks like when I paint it red. But like I said, just kind of getting through, just doing quick highlights on everything. You know, just so you can kind of see the lines on them. You know, there's a ton of videos out there on how to paint things differently, and you know, in some cases you don't get quite the line you want when you do dry brushing, especially fast dry brushing, because you'll get too much on something or too little on something, and you know, you always go back and fix it if you want to. But like I said, I mean, you guys' knuckles and stuff like that, that's pretty good. You know, do his boots real quick. Just keep going until it really shines up. Trying not to get too much in my light so you can actually see what I'm doing here. So just real quick, different ways to do stuff. And the nice thing is when you do like the speed stuff like this, like the other guy's already pretty dry. So we're gonna show you something real quick that I have recently started doing to speed up on things. So just kind of do this real fast. And the funny thing is you won't hardly see this arm when it's all said and done because it gets covered up inside of his body. But you know, somebody decides to look, like, oh look, his knuckles are done in there too. Just, you know, just something real quick. You know, doesn't need to be perfect. I just do a little bit of edging here and there. So I'll probably get something a little better than this camera here to do these later when I try to get into more detail. But you know, you get in here and just kind of hit a certain edge, a certain direction. That way you can kind of just get like a little bit of a line. Don't need a ton. Just something so you can get a good look at them. You know. So not spend a ton of time on it, just enough to make it look highlight, make it look good for the table. Don't want to spend a billion hours on them. I have enough armies where I've done that too, and afterwards I look at it and it just feels like I wasted extra time and could have been playing instead of painting. And I just move it really quick and just get like a little bit of a highlight. That's all you need. And then these markers I'm going to use, you can pretty much get these at, you know, anywhere. You obviously buy them from the hobby store. They always want more money from the hobby store. I usually get mine at like a Myers or Walmart for like $3 for a pack, but they actually match up pretty good. And then all I do is take it as this is just a Sharpie, just bronze, nothing too special. And we just kind of go through it. This one's a little worn, so I just kind of grabbed the first ones I saw and just kind of go through and do all of it in bronze. And then, you know, you can go back through it, add a little bit of different washes, brown washes and stuff like that to change it up, and then highlight it with, you know, even gold. But these actually match pretty close to the Games Workshop paints. I try to use mostly Games Workshop paints. I do use some other paints from other companies, mostly airbrush paints. They're really smooth. They don't dry out hardly at all. They last like forever. Just kind of a tip on that one. And then we're going to go to a guy that I've actually already kind of did all this to, which is going to be this guy here. So I've already done all the bronze work to it. So as you can see, it's not too bad. The funny thing is the chest piece is actually painted where the rest of this is all marker. So as you can see, it actually matches really well to it all. And then he's already been highlighted, so you can see where I just spent a little extra more time with him. I do like 2 layers of highlight to kind of get that actual blue, extra blue line and show like that wear on there a little bit more. And then the gold ones, you got your thick gold Sharpie, and they make a fine tip one. The fine tip is actually just paint that kind of squeezes out. You have to be really careful with it. Let's see if I can grab one of these real quick here and kind of show you. So it does a really good line real easy. The problem is if you put too much pressure, it will dribble out. It works better on paper than models. Use on the model and all of a sudden you push too hard and you get stuck with a squirt out and then you're redoing a bunch of stuff. But so like say if you look on this guy here, get it out here a little bit more, and just kind of, you just kind of touch it up with your gold. And you can use a brush obviously for it, and it does pretty much the same thing. Again, we're talking about trying to save time here and getting them on. And you can do the same thing across like that. And then you just add a little bit of wash once it dries. You do gotta give it time to dry because it is paint. It's one of those things where if you do it too thick, it just gooshes in and you lose all the detail and you don't get that little bit of a dark groove, which of course it's already starting to happen with this because I did it too hard already. But the bigger something is, the easier it is to do it, but you can really just kind of touch things up and get it that really good looking gold look. It actually looks pretty good. It doesn't look terrible, but it's okay. I mean, it's good enough. Like I said, the goal is to get you painting and going on this stuff. So some of the other things I'm going to teach you real quick is the red part. So what I do with his cape and his little thing here, and of course the ribbons across his chest, is I just go ahead and use some screaming paint, and then I highlight it with some Mephiston red. So that way you can just kind of see what we're going to do here. Still same kind of concept. This is, I'm going to use a little wetter brush though. So I'm not going to completely, do a complete dry brush. I'm actually going to take a little off. I don't want too much on it, but I do want it to be a little wet. And then we're just going to kind of just go through it real fast here. I just kind of want to leave a little bit of that darkness on the edge, so you can kind of see how it goes. And then you just kind of dab in that center to kind of leave that darkness around all the ultra symbols here. And you just kind of go real quick. Like I said, not using a ton of time on this. Just using enough so it looks good. And like I said, I'm actually using a pretty thick brush here. I think it's called a 10. And I don't worry too much about that because we're going to paint that different anyways here. But the goal is here is to get these guys painted really fast. Like I said, if you leave just a little bit, you can kind of see how it still keeps that detail down there. Like I said, I didn't really want to paint those red, but I might do it just for the video. Any place there's a little bit of blue, just kind of add a little bit more red to it. Just make it real quick and real simple. So, like I said, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. You don't need to spend hours on end with this. I mean, I see a lot of videos where guys spend 30 minutes showing you how to paint one little section and they move on and then they fast forward and stuff like that. My job here, what I'm just trying to do is give you some tips I've learned over the years. Cape works the exact same way. You just kind of get it up here a little bit better. Just get a little bit of red in there. Like I said, brush is a little dry, but not too dry. And that way you kind of still keep that screaming pink coming through it, so it kind of gets that wavy look to it. And then when you get up here, you just kind of brush across. That way you keep that detail on there. You're not getting rid of it completely. You keep that darker red in there, so you keep the little, keep it still looking extra three-dimensional. As you go across and do wash, I mean, I'll probably spend more time on these guys later down the road and make them look extra better, because you know they are unique units versus quick units. This way, I mean, this is the same brush I just used a second ago. I just dried it up real quick and just used it. I always have like 2 or 3 of these that are a number 10 because they work really good. You cut the edge so you have a little bit of an angle to them. That way you have a soft tip. And if you like here, I just kind of keep my hand from shaking, so it's not perfectly straight. It gives you kind of that thing. You just kind of keep going with the same thing. Of course, like I said, I tried to do this real quick when I did stuff so you guys can get a view and kind of see how it works. If you go real neat here, you can actually keep those lines in there. You see, you still can keep the detail in there without actually going through and trying to do stuff. Different tips or different things from different guys are always good. One of the things I've learned over the years is you don't have to use a ton of washes. I know that's something Games Workshop will show you, especially I really do like their heavy metal videos, where they're going to go on and, you know, they'll use you know, one silver with another silver with another silver. It'll wash. It looks great, but I've actually started doing this thing again with some of them where I literally just base it black, wet brush like I'm doing with this, and then just dry brush it with this, and it turns out pretty well. Kind of an example is just this guy here. You know, look at his sword. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a quick dry brush here or there. Some of my Crimson Fist guys, it's almost done. He just needs the highlight left on him to do, and he'll be all done. It's kind of like the new army I'm working on. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and hit us up on it. If there's anything you want to see us do, let us know. I play pretty much every army except for Sisters of Battle and AdMech, so I got a lot of stuff I'm working on. I got Forge World stuff. If you guys want to see different battle reports, I know we got everything set up, so we're going to start doing that here shortly. Let us know. I mean, if you say, hey, you know what, I haven't ever seen these units being played and we have them, even if it's not painted, we'll put it on the board just so you guys can actually check it out, especially big stuff. I know one of the things, you know, I have this really bad habit of buying expensive stuff. You know, I got one of these guys that, you know, and literally he is going to probably be a real quick job, and I'll go through kind of what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do all of them the same way when it comes to my Nurgle Demon Army. There's pretty much going to be just like several different greens and a little bit of bleached skull, and then obviously we're going to do like all the stomach area, like in different reds and stuff like that to kind of show the stuff, but just so you can kind of know. But yeah, go ahead and, you know, if you have any questions, let us know. If there's anything you want us to see, let us know. My goal is to give like quick tips, good tips, different units and stuff like that to use. You know, like I kind of showed you just quickly with these guys, what I'm going to do with them to get them ready. I'll wait and do another video on just faces to show you how quickly I do them. You know, like I said, I mean, here's one here. I mean, that's like literally like a 3-minute job at the most between the hair and everything else. It's pretty quick. But again, you guys all have a great evening, and good luck gaming.